Here's another question after having seen the Bird Box movie. What happens if babies see the Bird Box monster? Throughout the movie, the crazy people want children to see the monster. When Malorie and Olympia give birth to their babies, Gary, one of the mentally unstable people who have been infected by the monster, really wanted the babies to see the monster. We know that the monster causes people to kill themselves, but for a baby that is undeveloped and doesn't even know what's going on, what impact would the monsters have on them if they see them? At no point in the movie is this ever touched on. What I mean is, we never see a baby or the effect it has on children if they see it. Of course, kids that are able to harm themselves or at an age where they can understand what they are looking at may fall victim to the monster, but a newborn baby doesn't even have the understanding to know how to kill itself. So, to what end do the crazy people want the babies to see? And if they did see the monster in some way or fashion, would this make them immune to the monsters? Well, let's take a look at what we do know in the movie. We do know that people who were crazy or were criminals or violent, unstable people were not affected in the same way that normal people were. People who seemingly lacked compassion, empathy, or a sound mind were positively affected by the monster in that they became happy and enamored with the monster. They wanted everybody else to see how beautiful it was, and they didn't seem to have all their faculties about them in the first place. Now, to answer why this is, I'll also repeat this in another video. The reason the crazy people are not affected is because their mind is already broken. I'm not trying to be mean, but that's just what it is. The vast majority of people that we see in the movie that are affected by the monster, they ultimately commit their own suicide. And they have a sound mind, which the monster used as a tool or a vehicle of some sort. Now, I think the analogy is as such. If you want to get somewhere, you hop in a car and you drive. However, if you hop in a car but doesn't have an engine or does not have working parts, you won't go anywhere. You'll just sit in the car. This is probably how human minds work in terms of the people who are of a sound mind and the people who are mentally ill or mentally unstable. Their mind is essentially broken, a broken vehicle that can't get anywhere. And so when the monster tries to infiltrate their mind, it can't really do that. It infects them, yes, but it just sits there like you would in a broken car. So it doesn't get them to drive. It doesn't get them to kill themselves. And here's why. Because the monster is described as something that feeds on your greatest loss, deepest sadness, and fear, the people in the movie that were crazy and infected by the monster did not experience those things, or at least not like normal people. A serial killer, a sociopath, or a mentally ill person would not experience loss, sadness, or even fear the way we do. It's the reason why some of those mentally ill people will jump off a skyscraper or walk on glass. They lack the capabilities of the mind for self-preservation. That is why the monster can't make them kill themselves. The monster infects everyone, but it can only cause people to commit suicide who are of a sound mind and a mind that the monster can use. Now, one thing is common with all the crazy people. They all want everyone else to see how beautiful the monster is. The monster, however, is very intelligent, it seems. Since it can't get the crazy people to kill themselves, it uses them in the only way it knows how. It indoctrinates them with its beauty, or it wows them with its beauty, and lies, and then gets the crazy people to kill other people, who ultimately will kill the crazy people in trying to defend themselves. So in an indirect way, the monster is getting the crazy people to kill themselves by attacking other people. All right, now back to the babies. Babies don't know sadness or fear, especially newborns. Their minds are literally an empty sponge. So, is it possible that if a newborn baby or an infant were to see the monster, that they would not even get infected? A baby's mind is still a mind, but it's undeveloped. Crazy people's minds are developed, but broken. The baby's mind is still forming. So, let me say that again, because I kind of fumbled over it. Crazy people's minds are developed, but they're broken. The baby's mind is still forming. There are two theories here, or two initial theories. The baby would not get infected or affected by the monster at all. The second theory is the babies would get infected but become immune. And there's a third theory. What if the monster infects the baby, but when it comes of age to perform basic actions or have basal knowledge, it then hurts itself? One thing is very unlikely, and that's the babies dying from seeing the monster. Newborn babies have no fear. They barely have understanding. All they know is hunger and touch. They don't even understand what the concept of hunger or touch is. We would probably see the baby's eyes appear radial as people infected by the monsters do, but the monster won't hurt them. So here's a mutated form of the theory, and this is actually where I'm going to leave it and what I'm going to stick with. What is the best thing you could do for the babies in this post-apocalyptic world? Well, in a weird kind of way, chances are the best thing you could do for the babies is to show them the monster. Hear me out. I mentioned that crazy people who have broken minds and that don't have the concept of fear, great loss, compassion, or any of the emotions that normal people have are not affected by the monster in the same way other people are. They're not suicidal. They just want to show people the beauty. But unfortunately for normal people, that causes them to kill themselves. Now here's the weird thing. Newborn babies, very, very young infants, also do not have compassion, the experience of great loss, or the initial concept of fear. They're more similar to the crazy people than we think. So, if the crazy people are not affected by the monster, and the only thing that they want people to do is see the monster, notice these people are not killing the normal people, they're only trying to open their eyes so they can see the monster too. They only start killing people if those people try to defend themselves or to get away. If the baby sees the monster, and then the baby becomes infected, or babies become infected, they will see the beauty just like the crazy people do, because both the babies and the crazy people lack the same thing. The emotions I just mentioned. As the baby grows, it would have already been infected by the monster and will only see the monster as beautiful. So when those babies grow up and there are no more normal people left, just the crazy people and the babies who are now little kids, then nobody will need a blindfold because everyone will be able to live among the monsters. The monster won't be hurting anyone because there won't be any fear or greatest loss or sadness to feed off of. It will be this weird robotic utopia for them. Nobody will need blindfolds, and the crazy people won't be trying to pull off blindfolds or hurt people to do it because everyone there already can see the monster. And the crazy people and the babies who've seen the monster are humanity's legacy. They're the people that will carry on long after everyone is gone. The people that kill themselves. In a weird way, could that be the monster's way of cleansing the earth of pain and loss? I know, it's very weird, this theory, I know. But I honestly think that's what would happen with the babies. They would see the monster, and the monster would infect them. Their eyes would look different as well, but they would grow up not being in any danger from the monster because they've already seen the monster and been infected. They would only have seen the monster as beautiful. So in a weird way, the monster's already writing their mind, just like it did with the crazy people. So that's a theory. Let us know what you think of it in the comments, and thanks for watching. This has been Altiori. You ask, we answer.